Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be doing the team building guide for the STR Blue KAIOKEN Goku EZA that is coming out on JP. The time that this video goes up, the EZA should be out in about 7 hours time, along with the one for the Spirit Bomb Absorbed LR Goku. I've already put up a team building guide for that, so make sure to check that one out as well. I will be live streaming the EZA as soon as it comes out, which is it's 8 AM UK time, I believe midnight PST. I will be live to stream it. I do have the Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku, but I don't have this guy, so just be a case of getting those nice free stones and then having the medals for when I do eventually pull him. So we're going to go ahead and look at this. Now the wiki does not have pages up for these EZAs yet, so the one thing that we can't see that we usually are privy to before I make these guides is which particular typings are going to be getting the 80% damage reduction once you get to a certain stage. Now, because we don't have that information available at the moment, there may be some units that get mentioned in this guide that end up not being useful. Once that information is available, I'll add that to the guide as a pinned comment, or somebody can, you know, if you haven't seen me comment it yet, because this video will actually go live when I'm already asleep, because like I said, the EZA comes out in like 7 hours, so for me that's early in the morning the next day, so I'll be asleep. So there may be some units that we cover that end up not actually being super useful in terms of damage, but remember, the unit typing that gets the damage reduction can still be useful for defense. So if you do have some of those units that are basically there on the team to be tanks, it's not going to matter as much that they're not going to be doing a huge amount of damage. So the category is accelerated battle. Now this one, it leads me to believe there won't be a huge restriction, because if we look at, like, especially the extreme side, there are not that many units per typing. So let's say, for example, we can already assume physical is going to be getting hit with the damage reduction, right? Because normally the type disadvantage type is normally affected, so you don't really want to be using these units anyway. And then if we look up, like, these selections of units are so small that let's say they cut out like STR, for example, they're just cutting out like half the units essentially that are available. Well, maybe like a quarter. So I don't necessarily think that many will be restricted in terms of the damage. AGL obviously is going to be the strongest of the typings, because you have type advantage. I don't think there's ever been an EZA where the type advantage type was the one that got the damage reduction. So we're going to be looking mostly at AGL, but there are a couple of different builds and everything that you can make this work with accelerated battle. So as always with my team building guides, I'll be going through my top picks and honorable mentions. If there's any units you think I missed out or should have talked more about, let me know down below in the comments section. And of course, if you do find the guide helpful at all, do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So jumping straight in, we obviously have the main leader of the accelerated battle category is the LR Hit and God Goku. This is one of the reasons why I don't think they'll make STR, especially one of the type disadvantage categories, because it is one of the main leaders, right? Accelerated battle or universe survival saga, 4 key and 150. These guys are pretty solid. They've started to age a little bit nowadays, but obviously EZAs are not the hardest of events, so this guy, or these guys I should say, this unit should be pretty good. They have a built-in chance to dodge when they're in slot 1 and 2. They also have a chance to additional if you are in slot 3. So it kind of depends how you want to play it out, right? They are the best leader to use just because they will cover everyone in the category. And then, of course, they do have some very poised, perfect partners to use because they share a ton of links with the actual hit units. So there's the Tech Dokkan Fest one that has his EZA, obviously very good, very powerful unit, especially when combined with the LR. They will be very good together. And if you're one of the few people that did actually summon on the type banners along the way, and you actually have the extreme STR hit, then he's going to work insanely well with the LR God Goku and Hit, because even though God Goku is on the card, LR God Goku and Hit is an extreme STR unit. So having this guy next to them, not only are they going to be sharing these links, but this unit is providing 50% support to the LR. So obviously that is going to be a very powerful rotation. Now the other accelerated battle lead that we have is the physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku that eventually transforms into Super Saiyan 3. He's a last resort pick, I would say, as the leader, because obviously he is physical, he's got type disadvantage. Chances are he's going to get hit with that damage reduction once you get past a certain stage. Plus, of course, the fact that just by having type disadvantage, if he's one of the ones that gets hit with a super, especially in the later stages, then you could potentially get taken out. So this guy is only really an honourable mention in terms of using him as a last resort for the leader skill, but I do think there are better options even if you don't have one of the specific accelerated battle leads, because as we look through the units in the category, there are a lot of accelerated battle units that are on Goku family. So using Super Saiyan 4 Goku as the lead to build a Goku family team would obviously work very effectively. He has a 180 to all stats and 3 key leader skill. He's got the type advantage. He's got an active skill that you can use on turn 4 to deal 3 damage, which as you get to the later stages of an EZA, if it goes as long as turn 4 is probably going to be the final turn, and a lot of the time you'll be able to just use that active skill as the finisher. So definitely one of the more solid ways to build the team will be using Super Saiyan 4 Goku and then building a full Goku family team, as there are many units on that category that will be on accelerated battle that will be very good. So first up, we have the Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku. Like I say, I've already done a team building guide for him. Both of these EZAs come out at the same time, so it would actually be more beneficial, I guess, depending on how limited your box is. Do this EZA first, and then you can use him on the team for this EZA, because he's got type advantage. With his EZA is going to be very powerful. So if you've done this guy's Extreme Z Battle and Extreme Z Awakened, your version of him already, he's going to be very strong in this event. So definitely very useful. There are a couple of contenders for the Super Saiyan Goku spot on the team, because remember, in an EZA you can't use units with the same name. So we've got this guy, we've got the Tech Carnival Goku, obviously a much better defensive unit, has the revival. If you're using him in slot 1, he gets hit first. He's effective against all types, so it doesn't really matter too much that he's not AGL. He probably is the top pick. I think even if you have EZA'd this guy, if you have him like both Rainbow level 10 links, then I guess this guy's going to be more offensively powerful. This guy's more defensively powerful. So if you're finding the later stages a little bit more difficult, this guy would probably be more beneficial, whereas this guy obviously is going to do a ton of damage. And then, of course, there's the STR Carnival Super Saiyan Goku as well, who, you know, compared to the other two, is a support unit. Gives allies 2 key, 50% defense. He has damage reduction, raised defense on each of the super attacks. You're not going to get a chance to build up their full passive for like the scouter and everything, but they're going to be on the team essentially to provide support. So all 3 of them are Super Saiyan Goku. You can only run one of them, but they all have very distinct roles. I think if you just want to try and get through as quickly as possible, like I say, this guy's going to be your choice for the damage, this guy for defense, and then this guy is there for support. So next up we have Gamma 2 and obviously Gamma 1. Might as well mention them both together, right? Like having them two as a rotation together, they will be incredibly good. Gamma 2 is the damage dealer and he has type advantage in this event, so he is going to be throwing out tons of attacks, building up crit chance, and potentially just doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Whilst this guy, he's one of the units that we kind of alluded to at the beginning, where even if for some reason STR units were the ones that were unable to do damage, you would still run this guy and Gamma 2 together, because this guy's so good defensively. Just put him in slot 1, and then Gamma 2 goes off in slot 2 and does crazy damage. So the two of these guys together obviously are going to be very effective. Then we have the Metal Cooler. So a lot of the Metal Coolers are on here. I think all Metal Coolers are, right? The LR is on here, but he is physical. So in this instance, you're probably better off using this guy. He has a Wicked Bloodline lead for 170 and 4 key. There are a lot of Wicked Bloodline units on Accelerated Battle, including all of the free-to-play Metal Coolers. So even if you have a more limited box, there is basically a full free-to-play version of the team that you can run. And even if you don't have this guy to run as the leader, there are some other units that you can use instead. So this guy is going to be very good. Obviously, if you drop below 50% HP, you transform into the Metal Cooler Core, which gives you some turns of free damage. So definitely can be a very viable unit for this EZA. Next up we have, I brought up the example of the free-to-play one, because remember, they all have different names, so you can run all of them. The AGL one is the one that gets a bunch of dodge. They will all be very useful. Even the physical one, despite having type disadvantage, in Easy A's you can't use items to heal, and the physical free-to-play Metal Cooler is the one that heals based on the damage that he does. So unless physical is getting that massive damage reduction, at least I guess in the early stages he could still be somewhat useful. But if you're going to be running the full free-to-play Metal Coolers team, you're definitely going to want to be bringing this guy. The STR one is there for the support. Some of these guys can definitely be very, very good. So next up we have the AGL Super Vegito. I thought it'd be worth mentioning him. Technically you can run him on the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, same with Gamma 2, because remember his secondary leader skill after Goku family is Super AGL. So this guy will potentially be able to throw out a ton of counters, get a load of damage off for you for free. He's a bit outdated now, but you know, in this particular event, being that he's on the category, he can definitely be very good, and you could certainly get a couple of times with him where you can line up one of those turns where he's getting attacked multiple times and gets to throw out a ton of counters, and you get to do a bunch of extra damage for free. So definitely can be very good. Next up we have God Goku. How could we not mention God Goku when there is a pure Saiyan EZA? I guess I should have brought up Tech Caulifla as well. But the reason why I never mention Tech Caulifla anymore in these EZAs is, while she will obviously have the 100% dodge, she doesn't do any damage. So obviously while she's not taking any damage, she's not really helping you kill the boss. Whereas at least God Goku, he's going to be taking, you know, no damage from this KAIOKEN Goku, but he's actually able to dish out quite a decent amount of damage himself on the return, especially if you are picking up the 2 rainbow orbs. So he's definitely a solid pick, and of course another Goku family unit. So you can see that team build definitely very, very powerful. There's also these guys, the Goku that will eventually exchange into Gohan. In an EZA, you're pretty much never going to see the exchange. I guess if you double super on turn 1, you might get to turn 5. But this guy's still actually very good. Like, he has a Goku family leader skill as well. Also has Super Saiyans. So technically, if you wanted to be running like Super Vegito, he would be getting a higher leader skill from this guy than he would from Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You know, this guy can be good on the team. Once they get the super attack off, he has a chance to dodge. Builds up stats with each dodge. So this guy can still be very useful, and is a good secondary choice if you want to run a Goku family style build. Obviously Super Saiyan 4 Goku I'd say is a bit better because he has the slightly higher stats, but this guy will give the higher stats to Super Saiyan's characters as well, so could definitely be a useful stand-in leader. Then we have this guy as a nice free-to-play option. He's another Super Saiyan Goku, so he's probably going to hit the last one to get a look in, right, over the 3 LRs that you could use in his place. But good free-to-play option, has counters, definitely could be quite useful. Then we have Janemba. I haven't talked about a lot of extreme units. So we've got Janemba, really good for supporting extreme class allies if you get the orbs, gets damage reduction if you get the rainbow orbs, has guard, so definitely can be very good. And of course the super Janembas are on accelerated battle. Unfortunately the LR is physical, but using either the int one or the STR one paired up with this guy definitely could be pretty good. So if we go back to accelerated battle, we obviously have the LR Metal Cooler army. All the Metal Coolers are on there. AGL Cell is probably one I should have mentioned actually, because if we look at the various cells, AGL Cell is on here, Int EZA, Perfect Cell is on here. There's a couple of the other cells. Like, you could run a team with AGL Cell as the leader, and that would be fairly effective. And there's a bunch of other Wicked Bloodline units. Like, even if you're running Metal Cooler as the leader with his Wicked Bloodline 170, or there's Tech Transforming Frieza that has the Extreme Types 130. There's quite a few other Wicked Bloodline units that aren't just Metal Coolers, especially like this third form Frieza. If you're bringing some of these other Frieza units, he's going to be good for supporting them. If you are running an Extreme Types lead, you've obviously got Kid Buu. Unfortunately for Kid Buu, there's no other Buu units on Accelerated Battle, so there's no one else for him to get like a really good solid link set. But if you want to run some more of the extreme type units, you've got units like Rose, both the AGL or the STR one, that will be providing support. So you could run an extreme team, like run Tech Transforming Frieza, and then basically just throw on units like STR Kid Buu, Rose, any of these powerful like extreme units you have. But I do think the most cohesive build, unless they do turn around and make super types have the damage reduction, which again I think is very unlikely looking at what would be left over, I do think the Goku family build is probably going to be one of the most effective. I should have mentioned, of course, AGL UI and STR UI are on Accelerated Battle, so the rotation of them together will be incredibly powerful as well. So as you can see, there are a lot of decent options. It's not a huge category, but especially with the Goku family build, there are a lot of really good units that you can use on this team that should make this Extreme Z battle not too difficult. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said, if there's any units you think I missed out or I should have talked more about, let me know down below. And of course, let me know what your team build is going to look like for this EZA. And like I said, I will be live streaming it when it comes out, so hopefully I will see you guys there. And yeah, let me know your teams down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.